to a live demonstration. Today I am going to be making Concha Tres Leches. Have you ever had Concha Tres Leches? No. Me neither. Just kidding. No, I have. Let me start uncovering the thing here. Okay, so first a little introduction. My name is Silvia. I have two YouTube channels. One is Abuela's Kitchen, and I see somebody wearing the shirt over there in the corner, and I know she drove all the way from Stockton, California just to be here at Concha Con, so give it up for her. So one of my channels is Abuela's Kitchen, so if you don't follow me yet, please do so. I do traditional Mexican cooking with my abuela. And I've recently incorporated my mom. So it's 3 generations of firstborn women doing YouTube for everyone to see my abuela's recipes, traditional Mexican cooking straight from Mexico. You know, those recipes that we tend to forget as each generation passes. We know that some of the ingredients we eliminate or we leave out just because of personal preference. But if you want that authentic taste and that authentic flavor straight from Mexico, then check out that channel, Abuela's Kitchen. I also have another channel which is Mas Masa, and that's where I do a lot of Latina living. I do a lot of travel. I just got back from Cuba on Wednesday, so if you want to see a little bit of my travel, check out my channel, Mas Masa. I do a little bit of fashion, a little bit of lifestyle, things like that. So Abuela's Kitchen and Mas Masa. All right, so without further ado, what you guys have all been waiting for is my amazing demonstration. No, I don't know if it's amazing. You can tell me after, right? Okay, so I pre-made the actual cake for you guys. So what I'm going to be showing you is how to actually make the leche, the milk product that goes into a tres leches cake. How many of you love tres leches? How many of you just like tres leches? All right, that's all right. How many of you don't like tres leches? Okay, one. That's okay. Yeah, you're más o menos. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah. My husband doesn't really like the texture of the tres leches, so and my son as well. So I understand. I'm not gonna hate or judge anyone here. We don't all like things, right? Like nopales. Some of us can't eat nopales, all right? And some of us love nopales. So hey, it's all good. All right. So I actually have this receta de tres leches. This is my mom's recipe, actually. And for many years, she did not want to disclose her recipe because it was her secret, right? And she, we all know those old school people who don't want to give up the recipes, right? Right? Yeah, so my mom, she was one of those who this was her main dessert that she always loved to make, till she finally gave it up, and I was like, please, Mom, just, who cares? Give it out to the world. And so she gave it to me. So what I did, I took her original, traditional tres leches recipe, and I turned it into a Concha Tres Leches recipe. Well, thanks, guys. You approved. So the recipe is on our channel, so if you want to check out Abuela's Kitchen, the actual recipe, all you have to do is type on YouTube, tres leches, Abuela's Kitchen, and it'll pop up. So all I did to make it concha tres leches was bought some conchas, I cut it into 4s. Sorry, no one's gonna eat this, right? Okay, so I took a concha and I cut it into 4s, and when you pour your cake batter into your pan, you place your conchas first. So here's the pan, and I actually took a whole one, and I put it right in the middle, and then I cut another one and I put it to make the edges. So if you wanted your whole top layer to actually be a whole concha, you could do that if you really wanted to. It's just however you want to make it look. I thought this would be cool because it kind of looks like a broken up wall. And it's not completely concha. I don't want to take too much of the original recipe and mess it up for my mom because she would be mad. So I just put pieces of it, and you just place it, and then you pour in your batter on into your pan. So when you pour your batter, here's the key. And I told my mom how to create this, because she's a little hesitant, and she's like, no, porque va a ser esto, and Mexican moms, right? And so we made one, and the top was actually covered. And so the next cake that we tried, which is it's right here, and you can't really see too much of it. Now, I'm not going to tilt it because this already has a leche, but when you come up and look at it, you can actually tell that, we poured in the batter and we moved it too much. If you move your pan too much, you're going to get that batter underneath the actual concha. So when you do that, instead of going like this, go like this. Right? I also used my spatula and only poured it in certain sections and moved the batter around. Because the whole point is to show that there's conchas in there, right? Okay, so here's the important part, the tres leches, okay? So, the secret to making a tres leches is actually using 3 milks. I forgot I had pre-opened these. No worries. It's a live show, guys. It happens. Oh, gee, thanks. Thank you very much. Everybody, clap it up for the camera guys who got this on video. To embarrass me later. Okay, so one of the leches, or one of the milks, is what my mom calls carnation milk, but it's actually evaporated milk, okay? So that's one of them. And I'm pretty sure you guys all know all the milks that it take. You have la lechera, condensed milk. We all like to lick the can, right? And when I first learned this was new to me. It's media crema, it's table cream. So have you guys even thought that we would use table cream to make it? It's not regular milk. My mom's recipe doesn't use regular milk. It uses these 3. And so what she does in my cool, now messy bowl, she pours all the milk products into a bowl, and she mixes them, and it creates the milk for your tres leches. So I'm going to do that right now in front of you, so you can see that I really don't know how to spill. So here's the carnation. Anybody else's mom says carnation? Yeah, carnation. And then we have the condensed milk, which my dad calls leche del pajarito. Any of your parents call it leche del pajarito? No? My dad calls it leche del pajarito. I'm like, huh? I'm like, oh, condensed milk. Yeah, okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and pour that in there, and while you're pouring, you're going to mix it. I promise I won't spill. Hey, get out of there. All right. You guys having a good time? Yeah. Who wants some? Me. Yeah? Okay. I actually made 3 of them. If you can tell, there's 2 on that side, and this one will be complete. Can somebody stand up here? I need a volunteer. Me. There's a fly that's wandering around, and you're going to be my fly distractor. Come over here. If you see the fly, just slap it. Without touching the cake, though. All right. So for a cake this size, you actually would use 2 of each, but we're not going to add a lot today because you need to leave it aside for a while so it makes sure to soak it up, the bread soaks up the tres leches. And I'm going to show you how I do that, So here is la media crema, which is called table cream. And I'm also going to add that. This is a thicker cream or milk. And this one, if it doesn't dissolve all the way, don't worry about it. It's cream, and it's good. Give it up for my assistant. Anyone falling asleep out there? No? Oh, I see somebody right there. All right, so mix that up real good, and that crema is actually really thick. So you want to make sure that you keep on stirring it for a while. I mean, you can use your electric mixer if you want, but you might get it to fluff a little, and you don't want that because you want it to stay kind of runny because you want it to soak into, you want the bread to soak up the leches. So here we go. And my mouth, I'm salivating. I always salivate when I cook. Do you guys? No? Just me? Okay, okay, and I did wash my hands, okay? I did, I promise. All right, so let's pretend that that's good. You want to spend a couple minutes on it, making sure that it blends well and it dissolves as much as possible. Okay, so the whole point is to start off so the milk is absorbed from the bottom up, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift the cake a little, and normally when we make it at home, we leave it in the, we flip it, because you're gonna have to flip the cake. We leave it in the actual mold in the pan so that the milk stays in there and it really absorbs, because really what you wanna do is leave it at least one night in your fridge so that it soaks it all up, okay? But for time purposes, because you guys don't want to spend the night here, right? You need to see if it really works. Oh, you do? All right, we can stay, you and I. All right, so I'm going to lift the cake all around, and I'm going to begin to pour. Some of it you want to do a little at a time, because obviously here it's going to spill out. And I'm going to remove this because just in case you want to take cute pictures of me, of the cake. Doesn't look so ugly. Or maybe I should leave it so Carnation sponsors me. Alright, let me wipe my hands up. Okay, and this apron is getting on my nerves. Okay, so I'm going to lift it. And it's going to be heavy because the cake is dense. And I'm going to pour it in there carefully without spilling any of it out. Don't spill that. And I'm going to do that all around. I'm going to keep churning it and turning it. Is that a song? Yeah. No. Who's salivating? All right, you guys are first to try it. Just remember who you are. So, what's your name? Anna Lee. What a pretty name. Anna Lee is my helper. Should have put a napkin here. And this is a messy process. You're not doing cooking is messy, right? If you're not getting into it and really working it, then maybe it doesn't taste good. I don't know. In the meantime, why don't you get out your phones real quick? If you have Instagram, type in Abuela's Kitchen and hit follow. When you're done, type in _masa and hit follow. Thank you guys if you actually followed. If not, what are you waiting for? You are doing such a good job. I know, you're getting tired, huh? You want to take a break? You want somebody else to come up here? Anybody else want to try it out? The one with the pretty dress in the front? No? Okay. No worries. All right, so after you want to do this until you finish all your, most of your milk. So you want to let it sit here, let it soak up a little. It's good. You're going to be able to see on the sides where it starts to suck it in, kind of like when we were palalonca, when it starts sucking it in, you'll notice that it begins to tighten a little, you know. And so you can do it again, pour more leche in there until your personal preference. Some of us don't like a lot of leche in it, so it's totally up to you how much leche you want to put in it. And then after you've completed the bottom portion, then you can also do the top. And you know, the cake is porous, but if you want to make sure that the milk goes in all the way, you know, cut it up a little, make some holes if you want, however you want. I don't want to destroy it too much because I like the way it looks, but once the milk goes on there, it's going to change anyway. It does what it wants. I'm cool with that. You? No? Okay. All right. Okay, so same thing. I am going to pour the leche over it, just on top. I wish you could see from on top, but all I'm doing is kind of moving it around so that it gets all around cake. And then you just finish it off this way. You keep doing it until you run out of milk, or until however much milk you want to put in the actual tres leches. You want me to keep going on this one? All right, you guys like it nice and soggy, huh? Yeah, my mouth is watering. I wish we had music in the background. Wouldn't that be cool? Kind of like a party, you know, watching some cooking and partying. I can rap for you guys. You want me to try rapping? Yeah. All right. I was going to beatbox, but I'll rap. Just kidding. My name is Sylvia. What about you? That's all I know, really. All right, this is all I'm gonna do because I don't want to make a bigger mess than I already did. But you continue doing this until you've covered the entire top layer, until it continues to, you know, get soggy. The milk sinks in, so it's gonna go from the top and it's gonna come in from the bottom, and hopefully your entire cake will be completely moist if that is what you want. Obviously, if you don't want it to be completely moist, well, then para allá. Okay, so here it is. Here's the cake, and I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit because the milk is still on top, but eventually it will all go inside and you'll have a nice, moist tres leches cake. In this case, Concha tres leches cake. All right, so we're gonna wait a little bit. Any questions so far? Like, anybody have any questions? Pretty simple, right? Pretty self-explanatory. Any random questions? Like my size of my shoe or something? Nothing? Yes. My mom, she's at home. They couldn't make it. I was trying to, you know, beg them to come, but you know, I couldn't make them come. But yeah, this is my mom's recipe. Yeah. My grandma's 84 years old, by the way, and she's a YouTube star. So it's never too late for anyone. It's never too late to start. I mean, she walks down the street and people want to take pictures of her, you know? Like, we're walking together, no one ever recognizes me, but they're like, Abuela! I'm like, so everywhere she goes, people are always taking pictures with her, sending her messages, sending her letters. It's pretty cool to see that, you know, for her to have a different life and a different, like, you know, like chance at life, you know what I mean? So it's really cool to see her get all the things that she didn't have maybe when she was younger, when she had to work instead of like having fun. Now I think is the time when she's actually, you know, like she's 84 and she has the ability and possibility to continue to feel like she's useful, because when people get to a certain age, like sometimes they feel like nobody wants them, and so for her to be able to be a YouTube star, you know, it gives her a chance to feel so useful. Like when people send her a message, you know, it brightens her day. When people stop her on the street, you know, an 84-year-old lady, they stop her on the street like, can we take a picture? And, you know, at first it startled her and she would back up and stuff, but now she's like super friendly and, you know, and they're like, come on, let's take a picture. You want another picture? But yeah. All right, so we're done here. No questions? Any other question? Yes?
So you prefer like doing like little sliced nicks in the inside?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I do prefer prefer it. My mom also prefers it. This is her recipe. So yeah, she actually, punctures it. I only try not to puncture because I want that whole concha thing. But if you don't mutilate the concha areas, then I think you'll be all right. But she actually does this, and sometimes she just digs in and makes lines like that. So it's personal preference, really. Sometimes she even puts whipped cream on it and covers it with cherries and whipped cream. So it covers the entire top layer, and you don't really have to worry about what it looks like. But in my case, I do worry about what it looks like. I want you to see the concha, so I don't really, do much with it. Okay, volunteers to try it. Me. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, everybody, hold on there. Okay, so I have my assistant, my cousin Wendy. Give it up for my cousin Wendy. Okay, Wendy, where are the plates at? Okay. I brought real leche to have with it. Just kidding, it's not. It's actually a secret compartment where I put this. Because I'm gonna decorate one for her. You want one of these? I'll leave this for pictures just in case. We're gonna cut this one. This one also has conchas. You're so excited. What's your name? Yasna. Yasna. Do you remember Yasna? She was kidding. Let me get this for right here. And let me put this there. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. All right. Prep it nice and pretty for you. You're gonna get the next piece, okay? You've been the champ. He needs the whole cake. All right, some whipped cream. You can serve it like this to your guests if it's for a party or something. I'm drooling. Yes, I am. And I am going to add a cherry. Because my mom said, I listened to my mom. Anyway, so see how pretty that looks? You serve it to your guests in restaurants. Come on, if you have a restaurant, steal my piano here and decorate it all cute and pretty like that. So here you go. Come taste it. I offer you a fork, but too bad. You can start coming up here. All right, here's your piece, and thank you for helping me. You can sit down now. You want whipped cream? Yeah, whipped cream. Open your mouth. How's your mom like? All right, over here in the white. All right. Whipped cream? I know. Check it out. OG Abuela's shirt, guys. Crazy. All right, you have to tell us what you think first before you leave. That's only right. Yeah? All right, so you telling the truth. Tell them. All right. Okay, so I have 3 cakes, but before we keep going, okay. Let me get all this mess out of here because I made it look cute. Okay, so that pretty much concludes the demonstration part. If you want to hang out with me, take pictures, or talk to me or whatever, you're more than welcome. If you're too hot out there, stay here as long as you want as well. If you want cake and I still have enough, you can come in and get the conchas. I don't really care, or lick the can like my mom does. It's all good. Thank you guys for coming out. My name is Sylvia. Follow me on Abuela's Kitchen, all over the social media, or Mas Masa, and I have recipes galore. And thank you guys for coming. We'll see you guys next year, I hope. All right. Okay, so if you guys feel like coming up and taking pictures or whatever, you're more than welcome to. Let me get this nasty stuff out of here.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Jasmine, you want to walk? Can I get a picture of you for Bless's Instagram?
Yes. Just kidding. And more cherries next time. Ándale. Yo más.
Y nomás 5 porque son necios. Yeah, but I think it's kind of busy though.
Okay. I do think where you guys are. Ma. Wait. Keep going.
Okay, I ran out of plates, so we're gonna flip the napkin, okay? Or flip the cake on the napkin. No whipped cream for these, because. Try it. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
So all your recipes are on YouTube or on your bio?
YouTube. Yeah. So I have it on my Instagram as well. But YouTube.
That's what's up. I'm just recording.
Oh man, I have so much left over. Anybody want seconds? Yeah. Sorry.
No. Okay, got it.
I have a ton left, so if you want more, or if you didn't get any. Concha's right there. Okay, done with that one. Where do you want? No, she wants to. down there and I have this one, so don't be shy. This one doesn't have concha, so if you want some without it as well, this one doesn't have. And I just made these so if the milk isn't all the way through, that's why.
Ma, you don't want me to end it? Just end it?
Let me have this. Oh, she has